Welcome back to Indian Trace. This is a fantastic group of artifacts. We're going to go over each little separation of groups here. And you'll have every opportunity to win. Now, the last giveaway that I had was won. And a very worthy reciprocant got them all. I just don't take the extra time to publicize exactly who wins and everything, but just trust me. As you guys know on Indian Trace, you can go to my Indian Trace gifts folder and look at all the different people who have gotten some great artifacts in the past. Your opportunity, your chance is bona fide. And this here is one of the finest collections in terms of a gradients of tools, Stone Age, North American Indian tools that you can see. Everything from groups of broken-hearted and a little bit of broken up pieces, and we'll talk about them, to some fine examples of pottery and soapstone, to pristine, bigger atlatl dart tips, to scrapers, fantastic scrapers, and I'm going to show you those. I love scrapers. You guys all know that. To some unique stuff. Piece of a great white shark fossilized. Now it's Eastern North Carolina. Tooth. A piece of a gorget. If you look really closely and pause, you might be able to configure exactly what the shape was. Right here was where the hole was drilled in the middle, almost looking probably like a bow tie. Right here is some fine ground areas on each side where it was ground out, and then the back side is super smooth. All that you're seeing in this video is going into the same person's hands. And the only thing you're going to have to do, and I always monitor all of my comments, I read them all, and I listen closely. And I just take a open-minded survey of that person's heart and the intention. And there are a couple out there who I've given my word to, and I have their address, that I'm going to send you a couple other groups aside from this. I've kept finding, and I'm out there. It's a good shot, isn't it? And therefore, I'm going to have to keep paying it forward and giving some away. I keep trickling them into my Heartbreakers Vase. And that is Clovis. And there's other great things in there, like Rolly Hardaway. You see this piece right there? Right dead center. Look at the base on that. So that Heartbreakers Vase has a bunch of truly bona fide heartbreakers. Look at this Marl Mountain example right down here. Good gracious. That's from W Properties. So how is it possible to win this? Because I'm not breaking this one up. This is all going into one person's hands. I wanted to just take a diversity of pieces that I had, and it took me an hour to select these out of both my display box and other places. We'll start from one group at a time, and I'll tell you how you can win these. Tell me, if you will, if you think this nation is lost or saved, and why. It's pretty easy, isn't it? It's a politically loaded question. Now, I do wish the North American Indian had a better grasp of politics, but they did not. So it is bad body politic that destroyed these great people and many great civilizations. Also microbes and disease, germs, and viruses that they could not resist. Look at this group of heartbreakers. Mercy. Ah. Love them. If I didn't love them, I wouldn't be putting them in this giveaway. Then here, couple pieces of pottery. Now, it's a simple question that you have to answer to win this whole group. And I'll listen. I always listen, and I have an open heart. Do you think this nation is lost or saved? And why? It has to do with political climate. These two pieces were both found at the clay pot. You see the quartz in here for tempering. Brought the temperature of that clay up high enough to fire it. Probably had a woven grass basket they pressed it into. This is a big piece of pottery, at least for around here. It's going to be a great addition. Now this piece here is another interesting piece. I find some thick pieces of soapstone bowl. I don't think this is, some of the scraping of whatever they did is not from the plows, those scratches. Some is. But it is completely organic, and you can tell it's ancient, and it's soapstone. Those are one of the biggest, I should say, curiosities. There's the big soapstone dishes. Don't know how they ever did those. Soapstone is an awesome stone. So those will be in this giveaway. Is this nation lost or not? And why? I will remind you of this. Anybody can enter. I respect everybody's answer. Don't need to come from any side of the fence. You do know, if you've watched Indian Trace, that you're talking to a patriot. My highest principles are the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is what I offer everyone. And I will fight and die for anyone to have those. Here's a piece of a gorget. But you don't have to answer a certain way to win all these. All you need to do is be transparent. Do you think this nation is lost or not, and why? You don't have to be optimistic. You don't have to be pessimistic. Just curious. Look at that break. This is a piece of a gorget, and those are rare. That was found in site 2. We do find an occasional shark's tooth that happens to be a great white. I had somebody check up on it. And then there's a couple scrapers, hide scrapers. This is an incredible group, and I figured I'd pay it forward and I'd let them go. And once I put them out, they're gone into the hands of someone I'm also going to be listening, who I think will take great care of them. Super important. Look at this, the shape, perfect. Utilitarian 100% of the way. Cortex, that didn't bother them. Now, rhyolite is extremely resilient. Circular. That is an incredible scraper. When you hold it, you'll know. I know that it's nothing new because this is all the old patina on here. The dark little bit is a little new chips, and it's deep, dark green, army green, usually. So that is an incredible tool. I cleaned many animals and got many pelts ready to make clothing. Leggings, uppers, for the women, for the children, and for the men. Good stuff, scrapers. Now, I'll just slip up to the top. Look at these two groups as my time wanes on. A drill is going to be in this. Some of these are absolutely museum grade. But I want you to have them just based on the merit of your heart and what you really feel. That's how you win. One more time. Do you think this nation is lost? Recent political turmoil or not? It doesn't matter what I think. I definitely think not. But don't say anything to agree with me, because I'll know right away. Just share your heart. Now, even if these North American Indian, and this is probably the youngest piece on my whole board, as many of you know already, a true bow point. Here's an older piece, LaCroix sugar quartz. But as I finish, Many of you know that even if these North American Indian, some of these, go way back 4,000, 5,000 BC, these two pieces here, even if they didn't know, and they did because they ran their villages, their tribes, and their regions politically. Even the Mohicans, earlier historic tribe, helped us with the thoughts, and the Iroquois, League of Five Nations, the thoughts of the Constitution of the United States itself, many of its principles came from their contributions. So they knew. So then the only other problem was greed, materialism, collision of culture. They couldn't handle it. So these incredibly 4 points will go with it. This here was found a clay pot. And then there are these. I hope you get it. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. If you want it, share your heart with me. Trust in the Lord. I hope you win.